Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rebel Collective podcast. I'm your host, Drago Reid.
And I'm your co-host, Laura Eisenhower.
We are the Rebel Collective. Me and Laura are just two people who's been banned so many times. We're just tired of it. So we're starting a channel to help just have these voices come through and speak pure and don't worry about being censored anymore, because we're the resistance fighters of this movement and we're here to challenge these narratives.
That's right. And it's so amazing to have Ileana, the Star Traveler, with us again today. We just talked to her last week. Thank you so much for just your willingness to come on so soon. Wow, what a conversation that was. And I know you have questions that I sent you, and I was just so blown away with all that you shared and what you shared about Drago, and Drago shared a bit about what you have communicated to him. And I'm really appreciative you guys holding space for me with some of my questions. And I know you have them with you, and whichever ones you want to grab and look at, that would be amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what comes through. So what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna do all 5 of them because they're interesting. And remote viewing can be personal. It could help somebody learn about themselves and others. And I think we should definitely, these are your questions that you sent to me.
Right.
They are of a somewhat personal nature and somewhat not personal. So I'm just gonna preface, your guides are coming in to help with this remote viewing. So I do sense a Lyran guide. I sense a feline guide from a Lyran perspective, and that you've had Lyran past lifetimes, Laura. Strong Pleiadian feminine energy, strong Andromedan energy. So those are the 3 main sources that want to come in to help with this remote viewing today, the energetics. And the first part of the question is, does my mission matter anymore? Yes, your mission matters because people on this planet still need to hear the truth, and you're a truth bearer. So honesty needs to be heard, and the light field needs to be preserved, which you are preserving. Part of your mission is to preserve Earth's light so that it's here for future generations. So people can see the light of Earth thousands of years from now, that this planet is still here, that we're not seeing a destroyed light source. We're seeing the planet itself. Its pillars of light are being preserved by you. You are anchoring this energy for the Earth to be alive for generations to come, for people to see this light in the future. So you are preserving this current legacy for the future. So this planet is still here. So you're a light bearer and an anchor for this planet, for its light source to continue to shine and not dim because of the darkness that infiltrated this world. You're part of the cleanup crew to make sure that the darkness does not defeat the light for the future. So that mission is preserved, and you're still doing it. You're still anchoring the light codes for the planet. That's a huge part of your mission. You came to do this. And then second part of this question was, there is too much hatred and smearing and lack of support. Why am I not more abundant? The lack of support and the smearing is those people that want to shut the light down, that want to filter it out and dim it. So no matter who tries to bring you down, they can't, because your light is bright and you're here to light up the earth with your brightness, and to work with crystalline codes and guidance from your own higher self, with the crystalline codes and the Christos energies, to literally transfuse the transmuted weakness of the Christ consciousness that has been missing from people's lives, to bring back the Christ consciousness. Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, those energies are back on the earth. Energies of Atlantis and Lemuria are also back on the earth. You're anchoring those energies to be balanced and grounded for individuals and for the earth itself. So you're the anchor and the bridge of that. And some people have wanted to snuff out that light, but they can't. The smear campaigns is to try to wipe the slate clean, but there's nothing to wipe from the slate as you are doing your soul mission. So those people, they're not even heard in the substance. If they're smearing you, then there's something wrong with them, not you. It is a misbalance. So you encounter those people to shine a light on them because they don't have something enough within themselves. That's why they smear and whisper and spread rumors. Just because you don't agree with what they want you to say does not mean you should be smeared because you hold the light frequency. You stay in your pure light as you should. So you can make yourself abundant with whatever you want as long as you engage in the proper sequence of what you should be in. That's what gives you abundance. If something doesn't give you joy, that's not abundant. Then another path opens up for you to explore, and that creates abundance. As long as you're on the right path of what you represent as the light, then you have abundance. If you're on a different path that does not bring in abundance, then something with it does not mesh with the light that you're supposed to be in. So you take a different path and you walk higher ground beyond those that walk a lower ground. You have switched paths many, many times. This is not the first time this has happened because you need to walk in your light, and then abundance comes when you're immersed in the right field of the light codes, which is in proportion to your mission. You have abundance. That's the balance for you. Is there still just massive targeting? Have I let them ruin me, and have I lost my power? There's no massive targeting as long as you don't get involved with those that tell mistruths, or those that only tell half truths but not the whole truth. Because you're here to tell your truth. You're here to tell the truth of Earth and its history. And sometimes your truth is incongruent with what others say and what others have motives towards you to try to stage you to do, because you have a big name and they want to use your name. But you don't go along with what is not the truth. You go along with the honesty. Follow your path and your mission. As long as you're in the right path, they don't target you. But sometimes you disagree with narratives that somebody spins, and then they start targeting. So follow your true light path. Be the light warrior that you always are. Follow your unique path with those that resonate with you and your frequency on a likeness balance. Then nobody can target you because you don't give them anything to target. You're following your true path of what you align with in pure lightness, pure source creation, pure Christ consciousness. That is your alignment. That is your path. That is what you've always worked on and will continue to work on. And nobody can target that. Nobody can stop that because that light is coming in. Nobody can stop the light. So you haven't lost your power. Your light is always with you. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can smear that. Nobody can change who you are on a pure field of consciousness. And you said, I have self-destructive patterns, but you know what? Everybody has self-destructive patterns. You change those and you go more with the flow. When you have that thought in your mind, you say, is that truly mine, or is somebody sending me this? Is somebody influencing me? With MK Ultra, we always get signals and influences either from the technology or from other people that want to influence our mind. Consider it is not always yours, self-destructive patterns. They're not always yours. This is what that subliminal targeting is. And then you clear it and you go with a different flow of light consciousness. That's how you transmute that self-destructiveness. You pick up the signals. That's not mine. That's not from me. I transmute and I follow a different flow and a different path, because You have worked with alchemical balance, with plasma fields, with crystalline energy within yourself. So you purify and purge the self-targeting that others try on you in self-destructive patterns. They're not yours, because you're not self-defeatist. It's not your attitude. That's not how you play the path of a flow. Yours is different. You keep cleaning, you keep attuning, you keep rebalancing. You have a positive nature. So you follow that positive nature and understand that targeting, that doesn't come from you. Those self-destructive patterns are not always yours. It's the MK Ultra programming that others seek to put on you with subliminal messages, NLP, subconscious context, influence. There's influencers who want to use your name. Don't let them use your name in the wrong way, because they've tried. So, and again, it sort of makes you wonder, what's the existential existence? Don't let people use your name. You are your light consciousness. Stand within your light and your truth. Nobody can take that from you. Was it determined before my birth that I would refuse to go to Mars because my mission is to be on this earth for this time of ascension? No, it was not determined before your birth that you would refuse to go to Mars. It was an experiment to see what would happen, what you would say. So the outcome wasn't known, whether you would say yes or no as a predetermination. It was an experiment to see how much of your consciousness was actually activated in the ascension when you were born, how much energy you embody to know what's right for you to refuse or to say yes or no to. So your ascension path is high on a frequency, and you knew intuitively that going to Mars would be a soul trap and to avoid it at all costs. You intuitively knew because you were seeking your true ascension path. You were born with the light of the ascension path. So your soul knew that that was a soul trap and not to enter into that agreement. But it was never predetermined what the answer would be, yes or no. Your intuitiveness knew, because you are on your ascension path, to say no. And that to remain with the earth would be to anchor the light and to be your light warrior, to be on that light warrior path. So in your ascension timeline is still very strong as long as you follow your uniqueness and your light of truth and honesty and honor, as you have always done, and not other people's narratives who want to attach your name to their plans and programs. What is my relationship with Valthor, and what star systems or races do I work with the most? You work with the Lyrans, you work with the Andromedans, the Pleiadians. Those are your soul family, your soul path. You work with the Christos, with the angelics, Archangel Gabriel. Mary Magdalene is a strong frequency. Archangel Raphael, Gabriel. Have you been working with your light field codes in the music? Because something happened where you stopped with the music and the crystals for a while. Have you started working with that again?
I have them, and I don't really play music. I mean, I used to play drums. I feel a lot of my creative energy is not flowing very, like, throat chakra. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, the wisdom of the music wants to reconnect with you. It wants to retune your frequencies. So it's important to connect with music again, to connect with what first activated your dreams and desires of happiness, because you are talented and you are gifted. So it's important to reconnect with the music again, because it has soul codes for you to balance your frequencies. So that's very important. Relationship with Valthor. Valthor is a Venusian connection, because you've had previous lifetimes on Venus when the meteorite and the various light weapons destroyed parts of Venus. You were in one of the surface cities, and that lifetime decided to incarnate on Earth to hold the light for the Earth. So something of that light beam weapons destruction would not happen here on Earth. So you knew Val Thor from your previous lifetime on Venus and those protected domed cities. They're rebuilding that now, but it's still, those light beam weapons destroyed a lot of the surface cities. And so they went underground. Val Thor went to Earth as well and followed you in this lifetime. And he had visited Earth government at one point and was on Earth because the star of Earth, the frequency of Earth, it needs a cleaner purification without nuclear weapons, without nuclear fusion, because that's what creates eventually light beam weapons and destroys planets. If it's taken too far out of context with too much energy imploding in weapons. So his job was to try to convince Earth government to not go that route. And your job is to hold your agreement with him, is to hold the light. So those light weapons are not created from nuclear energy in the future. So you balance the timelines to make sure nuclear weapons are not further experimented on and not further manipulated and hybridized into light beam frequency. Because nuclear fusion can go higher into light beam weapons eventually. So you and Val Thor came here to stop that and make sure that didn't happen. That's your mission with Val Thor. And your connection with him was always from that Venus lifetime. That one was very important. Are Eisenhower and I connected to this mission for me to expose this now? Am I one of the star beings that may have previously advised him? Your mission with Eisenhower was always to protect the Earth's history, to protect the Earth's future of timeline balancing. So your connection with him is his granddaughter. It's not as one of the star beings advising him, it's to carry on the mission of holding the light and telling the truth so the Earth timeline is stable.
Right. I remember last show you mentioned something about influencing things in that era so that he wouldn't get all wrapped up and make a wrong agreement. And
Yes.
maybe I was connected to Val Thor at some place in all that, or
Yes.
in a body on Earth.
Well, you had a past lifetime on Venus where you met Val Thor, and you met him in one of the timelines, one of the parallel timelines on Earth before you were born. Physically, you met him through a parallel timeline on Earth, and he told you that Eisenhower needed a stabilization in the timeline so that he would not be coerced by darkness to sign dark treaties with his name stamped all over them, which they tried to do anyways. They faked his signature and they stamped his name. But you warned him in a energetic frequency, like code encodements into the mind, because timelines really, if you're born or not, you can still send codes in a timeline message to somebody to warn them. You warned Eisenhower not to engage with the dark grays. Do not engage.
Right.
That was your message.
That wasn't necessarily with Val. I wasn't necessarily with Val at the time, though.
You had met Val Thor in a parallel Earth timeline where he had said to you to send an encoded message to Eisenhower not to engage with the Greys.
Because they were communicating, but I have a different way of being able to reach Eisenhower, I guess, because we have more past lives or family lineage stuff.
Well, through timeline messages, again, they can be sent through energetic frequency. You sent it energetically for his higher self to receive it and to tell him when he would be born not to engage with the Greys. You sent it to his higher self. And the higher self gave him the message not to become embedded within the military industrial complex. He wasn't trapped in that field. He warned humans as much as he could of what he knew, of what could potentially happen. So he left his own information. And those that can hear the truth through his speeches understood the message. And he warned Werner von Braun as well. Eisenhower left letters to Werner von Braun to discover what the military industrial complex is and to be careful of what NASA does behind closed doors. Because NASA has been militarized. Space Force has been militarized. Space Command has been militarized. They're part of this whole off-world infrastructure of developing technology. So Eisenhower warned that this would be happening, and he left that for von Braun because von Braun later developed a lot of that infrastructure. So the message was left in letters of discovery. And then von Braun did his speeches and left information for Carol Rosen, warning of the military industrial complex.
Okay, so that was all a good move then.
Well, everything was sent through a higher consciousness. You sent the information to Eisenhower's higher self, and he delivered the message to Eisenhower to be careful, to not be entrapped by the military industrial complex and everything that they wanted to use him for.
And then me coming in, there was an agreement, but it was questionable what I would decide. It was more, there's free will. We don't know. It'll just be, but there was some sort of reason for me to be born into the family, obviously connected to exposing what I am now. And that, because I heard that he was told that somebody would come in and help with the timelines on this level. So
yes, and you have the power to energetically influence the timelines and change frequencies of timelines. You don't necessarily have to know the person physically. You're able to still send the messages to their higher selves to influence these timelines so that they don't become explosive. Because Eisenhower's timeline could have ended quite differently and been explosive, but it didn't because of the warnings that you gave to his higher self. And his higher self delivered the messages to him not to go too deep with the government and the military industrial complex, because the earth could have even exploded. If he had been way too deep with them, nuclear weapons could have been used in a very different way, but they hadn't been because he was aware not to activate certain things too far. Not to go within a trap where he couldn't exit. And that was a warning that came from your message to him energetically through his higher self, because of your connections to timeline jumping and timeline switching, even switching timelines out. If something doesn't work correctly, you can switch it out and create a new timeline that is on a more positive scale, which you have done before as well with Valthor for the Earth.
wow.
I have a two-part question that has to do with time travel, Laura and I, and then Eisenhower and her. So
well, can we finish these ones at first? Because I
want to make sure to definitely do that follow-up, because these has made a whole new thread of questions. So I just want to make sure they can answer.
Well, I'm still in the flow of her questions with her guides, so we want to finish these ones. Number 4 is, why is Sophia and Magdalene energies so strong in my life? Are there any significant past lives, or what does this future hold that I can look at? I mean, in helping awaken it in humanity versus it being some reincarnation thing, which I don't subscribe to. Well, you work with Mary Magdalene. She is one of your guides, and Sophia, Mother Gaia, Earth are all interconnected with your light code frequencies. That's why you came into this earth, because Sophia and Mary Magdalene frequency is now within the earth to activate full-on ascension into finally people feeling 5D energy and awakening, taking the blinders off the eyes and awakening to the truth, not being influenced by various programming in MK Ultra. You are connected to them because they hold the Christ consciousness, Sophia and Mary Magdalene, and they help you hold your Christ consciousness and anchor it on your mission. Because you've been asking yourself, is this all in vain that I came here? And it's not, because you're anchoring that light with Mary Magdalene and Sophia. You are the Christ consciousness. You are the crystalline light, anchoring that with them. They're your guides. They're not connected through past life, essentially. Mary Magdalene is within your source codes of your light frequency. She is within your energy. So you always have her within your energy. That's what's guided you since you were born here on this earth. The agreement to work with her frequency when you would be born. And Sophia, Mother Gaia. Sophia is Mother Gaia, that frequency. And you do the teachings of Mother Gaia. And you've always done them to help people to take the blinders off on the ascension path. To be attuned to that truth of frequency. To walk the walk, to talk the talk, to be in the true frequency of ascension. Because when you're in the frequency of ascension, you actually connect to 5D. Without being in ascension, you don't connect to 5D. It's literally speaking your truth, being in your truth. That is ascension. If you're not in your honesty and your truth, you're not ascending. So you work within the truth sector. So people can understand what ascension even means and how to work on the path of ascension. Is that included in your next book?
What? All that you just said?
Yes.
Well, it's called Awakening the Truth Frequency.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's that if we all just live in our truth, and that we create this from the inside out, not the outside in, because the outside in is really kind of infecting our creative channels with scripts and programs that we don't need to be enabling through our own energetic and creative bodies, right? Kind of.
Exactly. So that teaching of that wisdom in your book will help people to be on their ascension path, on that frequency. So question number 5, why do I feel so apathetic, uninspired, and not passionate about my mission like I used to be? Doesn't mean my time is done here. I still am the cause, I know, but I really am I want to understand if my mission matters. Of course your mission matters. You have just been figuring out what is the path of life. What is the right path for you to be on? Who to connect to that will support your message and your mission. If you're with the right supportive people, then your passion is going to be awakened and you won't feel apathetic. Being with the right groups of people is so important on your mission, who support you.
I definitely know my mission's important, but I just feel I lost my channels and I've got these alternative platforms and it's like, it's really hard to build. It's like nobody's there anymore. And I'm wondering, should I buy, I mean, is there more I'm supposed to be doing? I'm going to put this book out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything else to do because this is all I'm wired to do or know to do. So I can keep doing it.
Yes, those that need to hear your voice and your message will hear it wherever it's needed. You see, many people are losing channels right now. Many people, because they're telling the truth. And the powers that be want to block the truth. So that's why people are losing things, because they're telling the truth. They're bucking the system.
Oh, of course. I don't need to, I mean, it's just, I guess, trying to reach out with people that are really out there, get back to me. And like, it almost seems like Eisenhower and his legacy or anybody connected to it, I don't know why it's not being more included in steering this ship of humanity. I just feel like, I don't know, like there's a lot of projections or a lack of interest, or I'm just too this or that, or like people know I've been out there you know, I would just think that there'd be more like, yes, let's have her a part of this conversation. You know, I don't know. And that's not coming from any kind of self-importance. It's just, I know I was born to help the planet. So I just feel,
But create your own conversations, create
yeah.
your own
Oh, and I am.
inclusivity.
I
And
am.
that's the mission. It's more important to create from your own words, from your own power of truth. You have, even though it's alternative platforms, you get to tell your truth and you're not censored, you're not blocked. That's the most important portion. Those that need to find your message will always find it, no matter what platform you're on. And
it just feels like I just have, I can influence things without having to be more out there on the world stage.
yes, exactly.
And I can work timeline energy without having, like, I'm not failing on my mission because I was like looked terrible and acted weird at a late night interview, like, and people are just rejecting.
No. I mean, the reason one of your feeling apathetic is because you lost a big platform. But many people are losing those same platforms in that same place because they're telling truth.
Right. And I don't want that to be any reason to, like, it was sort of a mood thing. And I sort of felt weird about sending those questions because my heart is so in this. It's just, I guess, just feeling the rejection of, like, you know,
But
and
it's
some of the smear tactics being successful and just, but if I can influence things without having to reach people in a bigger way, then I can just trust myself and that it's okay. It's where it's at. Right.
yeah, it's, you can reach people through your books, you can reach people through your message. Those that honestly follow a truth of inner knowing, following inner wisdom and teaching, they'll always come to you because you have the wisdom that people need to know on their ascension. You teach ascension, you embody ascension. We all get frustrated as humans when we're blocked somewhere or deplatformed. But then we say to ourselves, you know, we are the highest light, we are the brightest light. Doesn't matter how big or small the platform is, it's what the messages are that teach the wisdom that's most important. And you know that.
And I don't mind. I'm not after numbers. I'm not, in actual fact, I don't know. I never felt called to be really a public person. I just wanted to just be able to make these connections. And so I'm incredibly grateful for just whoever it reaches and whoever it touches. It's not so much about that. I guess when I just see the madness on the world stage and just the insanity, I'm like, am I supposed to be putting myself out there more? And is it just like, it's going to be really difficult because it's so censored, but, you know, people are still, I mean, they've got a lot of people listening and they're still being shut down in places. But I mean, I guess I just, yeah, maybe it is because I feel like I'm not reaching anybody, but I won't stop doing what I'm doing. I just feel I get more ridicule and I do have a lot of support, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. We all deal with this. It's just, it's been lately, I guess, I don't know, but we don't have to focus on that. We can move on.
But no, it's a common struggle that when people tell a lot of truth, they're censored and they're deplatformed. But you know what? What you do your work on Rumble, people can find those links, others share those links, and people listen to the videos. And that makes an impact for the ones that need to hear the truth, the messages of the truth. Even one person at a time, you're making a difference for those people. It's the truth of your honesty that makes that difference. As long as you stay within your honesty and within the field of truthfulness and on your soul path mission, in your unique, honest path, that's all that really matters. The others are just whispering detractors. The smear campaigns, they're very clever. They're very clever in what they do. But you know what? They're just noise in the background. It's not the truth. You know your own truth. We know our own truth. That's what really matters in our missions. Continue to do your work on your guided mission. That's all that really matters. Who cares what others say? Because what they say about us isn't the truth. We know our truth. That's all that matters. The honesty of your own frequency. That's all that matters. The others are just background noise. I've experienced the same thing as you have when I connected to groups that I thought were something I needed to be in, and it turned out not so much. And then that door closed, and I'm like, okay, I still have my mission. I still have myself. I still can share truth and honesty and wisdom and guidance and teaching. So I just follow my mission wherever it leads me.
Yes. Amazing. I mean, thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. I guess last one, and then Drago, if you don't mind, just real quick.
Mhm.
I mean, do I do a lot of energy work without realizing what I'm doing? Because I know we all do. You mentioned like closing portals and breaking down. I guess the gray alien stuff is to be in the truth free, is to be on this path, and we all do that and help take it down by standing in that. But somebody mentioned that I've helped pull my lab victims out of or help to pull them out, but like I'm doing this in a multidimensional, like because I was never in my body as a kid, and I knew that I was doing other work. So last thought, then we can move on, just that I'm doing stuff that I don't maybe realize I'm doing.
With your ability to influence timelines and change timelines, you have pulled people out of portals where they've been stuck on what feels like dark energy worlds and dark energy in between multi-dimensional prison fields where grays take people, or where military complex takes abductees like my labs. And you've pulled those out of those type of prison environments, and you've closed portals which were used to transport them illegally to places where they shouldn't have been. That's what you've done. That's what I'm getting about that.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't that it's so wonderful of you to thank you. I feel so much better. I just screw with my own head about things, and I know it's not deep down. That's not really the truth. It's a part of process, and certainly not a lie, but it's just, yeah. I have a really hard time being grounded. Like I just feel a lot of agony every day. I don't know if it's just empathicness, or I have a
It
really,
is.
it is.
It's wanting to be understood and wanting to be connected to people. But you are connected to your inner self. That's the most important thing, your inner self, your inner voice. Keep hearing that you are your own best friend, energetically and physically. And you have people who love you and care about you no matter what others say. It's that genuine path of truthness, being yourself, that really matters. And I think we've all encountered this, the three of us, we've tried to connect to a bigger group of people. And then, you know what? We found out that it's not all genuine as it seems, not all as it seems. And then, when you tell the truth of what happened in that frequency, they try to shut you down and cover it up. But you know what? They can't cover up the truth anyways. It always comes out one way or another. So don't worry about those people.
Okay, I've taken so much time. I'm so sorry, Drago. I really appreciate this, you guys, for holding space. It's just been, yeah, interesting, but nothing I can't handle, of course. So, Drago and you, yeah, you want to shift gears here. Ileana, you just are just so incredible. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And Drago, you had some questions?
Yeah, I wanted to tie some of Laura's what you were saying was happening to Laura to what's happening with me. You mentioned that she enters herself, she can change timelines, and she's going in and rescuing people. Are we part of the same group? Were we using the same technology, the portal stuff, to come in and save people?
She does it individually. So her frequency is to pull people from prison matrices, from bubbles that are created somewhat outside Earth reality, and to pull them out by finding their energy frequency source field, the soul code of people. She finds it and pulls them out of those prison matrices, out of those warp bubbles within multidimensional frequency, where grays have put them military industrial complex. Yours is going into the dumb spaces, dismantling portals and pulling people trapped in dumbs and facilities underground, pulling them out by dismantling portals. Two separate works, different work than
Similar
what Laura
work,
does.
similar work, different locations.
Yes, exactly. Yours is more of a physical Drago, like going into the bases, dismantling portals, dismantling energy frequency that protects the entrances, and going in and getting people stuck there and trapped, getting them out. So similar things you do, but not at the same time with Laura.
How often am I doing ops like that?
That's classified. That would literally interfere. It's classified. You've done enough of it to know on a conscious level that you're doing this work, because you feel tired when you come back.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Yeah, you know that.
Feels like I'm doing a lot of stuff lately, and
Yeah.
like the fatigue I felt today is the most fatigue I felt in a long time. Like the emotional, physical fatigue that's attached to doing stuff like this. I'm like, it's very heavy right now.
Well, because your soul, portions of your soul are, you have 5 clones, and portions of your soul are implanted, interfaced in those bodies to go into the dumb spaces to rescue the people. But you're consciously connected to the clones on awareness. So it's not always within this body that you do this work. Sometimes it's within clones of you. 5
Yeah,
clones.
I know that they take my consciousness on a semi-regular
Mhm.
basis, and
Mhm.
some of these different bodies, what are the different functions of these different bodies? Because I know they're all different.
Well, the functions is, one of them is a berserker. It's literally to force their way into the dumbs and demolish as much as he can of the infrastructure within, and to get the people out. One is very subtle with portal work, dismantling the portals, no berserker. Just calmly dismantle the entrance, find the entrance, dismantle the portal, dismantle the holographic aspect, walk in, set the bombs, set the timer, get the people out, and literally destroy the base. Describing all of them is also too much information, giving out too much information on what all of them do, but those 2 are the most important.
Some of these dumbs I'm like that I'm connected to, are you allowed to tell me which dumb specifically I'm connected to? Because
No,
one of my
classified.
there's for some reason I'm really feeling connected to United States Special Operation Command here in Tampa, and I feel that I might be connected to a dumb there. And like the more I focus on it, the more I'm connected to it, and there's something there, because I see a lot of TR3Bs over like MacDill and stuff like that on a regular basis, and a lot of these Florida, Orlando kind of shows. I'm seeing TR3Bs at pretty much every one. So like I feel like there's a connection and something going on around here.
Those facilities have a lot of tunnel systems underground, which you've dismantled. So you are highly connected to that, and to dismantling the infrastructures of the tunnels where people have been kidnapped into and held against their will and trafficked, to stop that from happening again. That's what you've been cleaning out. Hence the TR3Bs, because they're watching you, what you do and where you go.
I know they're always around, man. It's crazy how much you can see a craft that is completely silent, and you can just see it in like all the time, and it just blows me away. It's just like, I know you're there, man. Like,
Well, and they often will decloak to try to scare you. Like,
that happened in Orlando. I had a witness with me, and we was at a stoplight, and we're passing the Ferris wheel going to the Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, and it was like, I think, a Saturday night, and there's a TR3B floating directly above the Ferris wheel, doing like 2 to 3 miles an hour. It probably wasn't even doing 2, 3 miles an hour. It was doing a circle over the Ferris wheel, and I remember being at that stoplight, and my head is out the window like in the movies, where the person next to you looks at you like, what is he looking at? And then I'm like, do
Mhm.
you freaking see that? I cannot believe that there was a decloaked TR-3B directly up
Well,
the Ferris wheel. It was very overt, and I was like, holy crap.
there's a huge military facility under Orlando. There's tunnel systems under Orlando, and there's dark magic that happens in those places.
I can imagine.
So it all congregates. It's people energy frequency. If you congregate to where they gather, you'll expect to see what you expect to see.
And it's funny, this year, James Rink had invited me to go to the botanical gardens. And we took a group there to the botanical gardens. And the moment I got there, I was like tripping out because there was MK Ultra programming everywhere. All the symbols were everywhere. And then the group of four of us went through a supernatural magician experience. And it was crazy. But I was talking to Peter the Insider and Jessica Morocco, and she told me that some of the dumbs connect there to the botanical gardens.
Well,
And I was unaware of that.
a lot of dark frequency tunnels under Orlando and military connections and monitoring facilities under Orlando itself. So where that conference is held, there's stuff underneath that place,
I
Whoa.
assumed.
under that hotel. So again, where people congregate and gather is where things happen often enough. So there's a lot of dark magic happening in Orlando and what people practice. What you practice is, it's not what you practice, but is what you stumbled into and felt and connected to. You felt that energy. And that gathering place itself is just one of those things. You have to be careful where you go and where you visit and what you tap into and what you activate. Orlando is itself as an activator for hotspots of things that are quite dark.
Well, I mean, it was the CIA that actually bought all the swampland for Walt Disney and basically built a dome under what they would actually build as Disneyland. That's why Disney didn't pay for it. It was our own CIA. And then we built all these underground networks in the swampland, and we put a hub of something they would use. I believe that Disney here in Florida is a dome. And that's why all these tunnel sims that are connected to it, that's why it branches out, kind of like they discovered in Hollywood, where I'm not going to name certain people's names, but letter E, everybody knows that letter. But they started figuring out that a lot of these famous celebrities' houses, they all connect. A lot of the major ones, they all connect to these underground tunnels.
They
And
do.
they started realizing that as far back as the 1950s to 60s, that a lot of these actors had current tunnels going to their house to this underground network. And
Well,
that's how they would get away with a lot of these crimes. They would do it all underground. Just kind of
well,
like Donald Marshall, Laura talked about, where he says a lot of these celebrities talk about committing crimes in the dumbs in what you would call the arena or like the Coliseum. Now, like a lot of people talk about it. So like it's like next level stuff what they're doing right now.
well, that hotel where that conference was held, under that hotel, there's a military installation that listens to everything and monitors activity. There's a military thing under the hotel.
That's what a lot of SSP were telling me, and that's why every single night we seen craft in the sky. I don't know how many people posted videos and photos of craft in the sky directly above that venue.
Well, and when somebody practices certain types of magics, dark magic, it attracts visitors. So, what was being practiced and done at that conference?
You're talking about the Galactic Informers?
Mm-hmm.
I have one more question, but I don't want to interrupt the flow here.
Yeah, because again, what you attract and what you practice is exactly what you get. So why are those TRBs all over the place when that conference is happening? What were they practicing? What were they doing? Were they using certain technology to do things, to connect to people's consciousnesses? What were they using at that conference?
Laura, what was your question?
Oh, well, I was just wondering, what would the Earth have been like if I had gone to Mars? Would the timeline have been very different?
it would have been less light filled if you had gone to Mars. Again, Mars was a soul trap. It wasn't ever supposed to happen for you. It was just it was more like, what would she say? What would she do if we were to tempt her with this, and that? And your consciousness is not, I will not be tempted by anything. I will not be influenced or cursed against my will. You anchor the light of Gaia and Earth, so your mission is to raise the light field. Every person matters. So if you had gone to Mars, one less person anchoring the light of the Earth, and little less light on the Earth to anchor its positive timelines.
Right. Right. I mean, I'm just more, I guess the question is like, what were their plans? I mean, it doesn't really matter. They have all like plan A, B, C, D, and E, F, G for New World Order. So if the Mars thing was successful and a bunch of people ended up going there, it would have removed, you know, because I like you said, they would have wanted me to bring people on board. It
Yes.
just lessened the amount. I mean, all this exposure of it, because I felt like there were some aspects of it that were well intentioned, and I don't know. I don't really.
The intention was to create humanoid colonies on Mars and to see how this experiment works when you quietly transfer people from Earth to Mars and create colonies. If it could be a positive thing, but it was a soul trap because it's so militarized and controlled. In those colonies, free will choice is removed.
Right. And that's what the energy of the mother, those that are here to, you know, anchor that, is also to awaken the dormant DNA that, you know, connects with the planetary body, like the true grid network. Because
yes,
it seems to be based in sort of a control mechanism that is not honoring cosmic natural law and what this planetary consciousness can do, right? Is that it? Because the mother energy wasn't very anchored on the planet for a while.
Yes. Well, this planet has not been stripped of everything organic and natural on it. So you can still anchor the organic parts and bits to prevent it from being stripped. Whereas on Mars, that was stripped because of nuclear weapons. So it's like rebuilding things from scratch and creating new energy flows, creating a new energy core on that planet. They would have had you working on Mars to bring in life energy to the planet, to anchor that as a light code source. So if you're not anchoring Gaia, you're anchoring something else energetically.
Okay.
That's your mission, to anchor planets, the organic portions of planets, to keep things organic. Where life is needed, you anchor the life force.
Right. And they wanted to use that. That's what I'm sensing. It doesn't mean it was all in bad intent. It's just, this is part of us getting our power back, because if we don't, something else is going to control the process because people aren't waking. You know, it's almost like the mechanisms of control are almost needed for the ones that aren't willing to step up, because who else is going to create, right?
Yes.
So, you know, that's why it's all about that consent, but of course it's inverted and really dark. So sorry. Thank you. I just wanted to add that. Drago, go ahead.
Well, and again, your free will choice is to be free and not controlled to do something you might not necessarily want to do. And so on Earth, you have more freedom because you don't live in a pod on Mars in a colony. You can go wherever you want. You like to roam and wander and visit different places, where on Mars, you would have been restricted to a certain domed colony where you can't travel outside that colony.
Have Drago and I been incarnating on Earth for a while? Or, I mean, I know we're two different people, but Drago, you should ask the next question. I'm being...
Well, you've incarnated on Earth, Drago 7 different times for important missions. You more like 30 times for people to finally get what they need to get and understand, to hear that message. Because this yes, like having it. For you, it's important to people to hear the message and to be heard and understand the organic path that we need to be on. Not the cybernetic path, but the organic path. You've incarnated in Lemuria, Atlantis, where people didn't hear the message and went their route of the technology instead of other organic sources. So it's like your voice hasn't been listened to. You warn, and they still do what they want to do. And you keep coming back until finally people hear what they need to hear and get it. That's why you've reincarnated on Earth, for people to get the messages and hear them, so they don't repeat the same stuff over and over that's already happened in the past. Because the past is still the present and the future, unless we get it. This is the change we're looking for to create in the present. So the same past doesn't happen in the future again.
Right.
It's like we're time travelers from different periods where we've done this before, and we keep coming back to this to teach people to do it right finally, so we don't repeat these cycles.
Gosh.
That's what you've done throughout those 30 timelines and lifetimes. Coming to Earth, when will they finally get it? Hear the message, hear the truth, and actually act on it and do something.
Wow. I definitely feel a strong connection with Avalon too.
Yeah, because you've done Lemuria, you've done Atlantis, and it's like, I'm doing this over and over again until we get it right. And this is the culmination of trying to get it right in this present.
How is it that Eisenhower, I mean, I know a lot of presidents before him were similar, and then it just ended up being more Illuminati, more Manchurian Candidate, kind of sleeper agent, kind of CIA groomed. I mean, because a lot of people think Eisenhower's Illuminati. Can you just help me understand, like, how did he end up being able to be a general and a president if he's not Illuminati? Was that sort of the last voted person that, or a person with a mission? And then the hijacking really took a hold, because Kennedy seemed to have been briefed and pulled out of the Illuminati because he was an Illuminati family. Like, a lot of people think Eisenhower is, and I mean, I don't know. I know not, because I was raised in the family and I would know. I'm a little confused about that.
He was warned, the higher self warned him, you're going to have these platforms and people are going to listen to you. You're going to have a voice, but be careful, because they want to remove you from platforms. If you tell too much truth, you'll be removed. So be careful how you walk the line, how you walk the path. And through his platforms, he warned people. His messages were double encoded with meaning. And if people could hear the meaning, they would understand the subliminal messages of warnings he implanted in his speeches. Because he knew that the Illuminati could try to co-opt him anytime. He heard that warning from his higher self, the warning you delivered. He heard that. That's why he was never Illuminati. The platforms were what he earned, what he worked hard for. And remember, those were the beginnings. The wild, wild west, when everything started to form in his time. Now it's all formed where you just don't get put as a president or a general because you worked hard for it. You get put into it because you're part of these families. When all of that was first being built, they didn't know the game plan, how it would work. Now they know the infrastructure. They built that out so well. You would literally have to be Illuminati to get into that state of power, because you're in the families. He wasn't in the families. He earned everything he got and where he got to.
Gosh, I really love that man. I can't wait to see him in the...
Yeah, and he walked the path as much of the truth as he could, and he walked away before they could co-opt him into full military industrial complex military. He walked away. He's like, you know what? I've tried my best to warn, to give what I can as the truth. He gave the letters to Werner, left the letters for Werner von Braun, Carol Rosen, beware of the military industrial complex, because they'll try to co-opt you when you come into your seats of power. He gave the warnings to all the players. The messages were delivered.
Why do you think I don't have more contact though? Why I'm not like, oh yeah, I was just up on a ship with Val Thor or the Andromeda. I mean, and I just kind of yell out to the sky a lot, and I don't, and I
It matters more what you do on the ground, boots on the ground, how you anchor the planet.
they need to
It
just tell
matters.
me I might get homesick, or I might just be like, take me, and I don't want to come. No, I love it here. I'm just kidding.
Well, the path is what's in front of you, not what's above you, because the path is doing the mission. We can hear ETs, we can talk to the ETs, but concentrating what we need to do here on Earth right now as part of our missions, that's the most important part. Boots on the ground.
Awesome.
Walking the path, doing the mission, that's so important for all of us that came to do this work in our capacities, whatever that looks like.
Drago,
We can always meet the ETs when we're finished with these missions. They're always parts of us. They're always parts of the consciousness. And I've also talked to many, but you know what? I'm focusing on the mission, on the work, because this is the time for it right now. So crucial, so important.
wow. I'm just so amazed by you. Okay, Drago, any questions? And
Yeah, before I get into me, the crux of my stuff, I want to do some Laura's follow-up questions with what you provided to her. Do me and Laura know each other before we incarnated? Like, how do we just randomly just get together to start this channel to like try to change the world?
Well, you've always gone your own path, your own way. So you're helping Laura to be connected to her path in her way. You two speak the truth. You connect because you speak honesty and truth, no matter what people say or do. You will always speak your truth, the both of you. That's why you're connected now. Souls connect to souls because of common ground, of commonalities. That's why you two connect on soul levels, because you have similar ideas, similar opportunities to create something new as a platform, to speak the truth and have people come that speak truth on your platform, that are not pretending to sell something, give something, not giving lip service of falsehoods. It's walking the truth path. That's why you two are connected, because you're not giving lip service to anybody.
Is it because we randomly met each other in this life? Or was this a contract beforehand that we would meet in order to start this?
It's never random. Both of your souls want to speak truth. Both of your souls want to give voices to people that have been marginalized and put aside. Both of your souls agree to work together in this lifetime at a certain time point so that the truth is heard and that people are given an opportunity to talk the truth, and not platitudes of, we're going to make change, but do they make change? Do they make a difference? Or are they just acting out characters as an actor's game, which you are not? You're speaking your genuine truths, sharing messages, important mission parts. So you're doing what you're both supposed to as two individuals who are giving truth, and you have your own platform to do that. This is your mission with Laura, to give that truth and opportunities to people who've been marginalized and written off. But nobody's written off. That's why your two souls came together, to give voice to those that don't really have a voice anymore.
Yeah, that's two very important voices, and I guess that's why they attack us so much. Laura was talking about just all the online stuff, and like the moment you step forward, like they start hitting you with everything.
by the way,
Including
I had a sex change and I'm a Russian spy. Anyway, what
that
about
was the recent
Drago?
stuff I heard. Yeah, that was crazy. I'm like, the stuff they post about Laura and these memes, it's
Oh,
just
they do
like,
it to so many. It's silly.
Yeah, and I've had people say stuff about me, and I'm like, I don't care.
Funny. It's
Yes.
comedy. It's like, the thing is, demonic energy in the dark side does not like laughter, right?
No. And it does not like the truth either, and honesty and fairness.
No, or love.
And I'm like, you know what? As long as we're honoring our paths and souls and we're doing the work that we're supposed to, that's all that matters.
Integrity and truth. And
Yeah, exactly. And it's so simple. do your work, follow your path. Don't let anybody bring you down with what they try to attack us with. It's like being children in the sandbox. If you haven't grown up, you haven't grown up. You're stuck in that energy of it's like my toy. Well, you need to learn how to share,
I know, it's like
you know.
just basic kindergarten skills, people. Okay, we have a common issue, which is the Sonny Irvin guy. So Sonny Irvin has been in jail, but he's very linked into CIA. He has many, many profiles. He's a huge troller, but he is somebody that already has in the past created this different persona of, I really love and care about you, almost crossing boundaries. But when he was in jail, he sent stacks of letters. And it was all, here's artwork, and you and Kevin. But then he had this other side to him that would, like insanity. Do you mind me asking about this, Drago? I don't know if you know this man, Sonny Irvin, but we sometimes don't know how dangerous somebody like this can be. Now, we've closed off all communications. He's blocked. I said my last piece and then I blocked him. I just had to say a few words just because he's been doing this for a decade. How can we understand something like this? And Drago, do you have anything to add about this? And is this something you even want to ask about?
That's a really good question, because this is probably one of the number one dramas that's going on. And like you said, it's been going on for over a decade, even with Penny Bradley. He's been harassing Penny Bradley for a decade now. So it's to the point where we're getting threatened to even do videos together. So I guess Laura wants to know, what's the point of all this? This guy needs to stop,
This guy is like an ant in a farm hill, really. He doesn't get heard significantly. So those that have a place to be heard and understood, he wants to disrupt that flow of that connection. So he is like background noise, like all the rest of the stalkers and the creepers. Background noise.
Yeah, I was just wondering,
yeah, because he's literally threatened to kill all three of us.
People can threaten all they want, like an ant in a farm hill, honestly.
That's what I said. He's like a cockroach in the kitchen.
He wants to say a lot and be heard and be inclusively included. But when you're a stalker and a creeper and you creep and stalk, that's what you know best. Insignificant noise in the background of the anthill.
Yeah.
Basically, he's irrelevant.
They're all irrelevant. If they have nothing good to do, they try to creep on people and do that. It's like ignore them, block them, and don't give them the time of day or the time of voice. I've had stalkers too. I'm like, gone, blocked, not in my, you don't exist in my lifetime anymore. You don't exist in this timeline. Energetically, I go and cut the cords with them, and I cut them out of the timeline, and they disappear like they never existed. And they don't exist on my timeline. They're somewhere else doing their own whatever they need to do to get with it, to get it together, because they're all suffering in their own way of miasma of something.
It's hard because I had that compassion and I feel for him. So when he's in his loving side, I could be forgiving, but I just realized, this is a dangerous person. Don't give him any energy. And because this has been a decade long, that was a long time ago. But anyway, do you remember me or Drago from, oh, you were going to say something, but do you remember me or Drago from beyond this earth life?
No, I don't, but I find you interesting, loving individuals with kind hearts. Like I read your frequency. We all have common mission to help the planet, to help people awaken and to come together and to share information. But again, going back to this guy, I've also had a stalker for a couple of years, sends me emails every couple of months, get triggered by something I say, delete, block. Don't give them time of day. Because honestly, I don't have time to creep around with stalkers. It's like the most important important part is not to engage with them. Even if they have like a loving personality on one end and something crazy on the other, just don't engage with them. Just don't play the game wherever they're trying to deal with you. Don't do it. Block them and end it. That's it. That's the best way to remove stalkers. They're not existing in your timeline or in your reality. They're outside of it. Put them outside where they belong and lock them out.
Yeah. How much have you incarnated here on Earth, do you feel?
I incarnated in Atlantis quite a bit, about 4 or 5 times. Had a Lemurian lifetime. I like to fly under the radar, quietly come, show up, do my mission, do my work, and leave. Leave an impression, change something for the better. But people don't really talk about me. People don't remember me. I try not to be memorable. Come in, do the work, and leave. Slither, it's like the reptilians like to say this: slither in and slither out quietly. It's because when I was in the SSP stuff, I did work with a reptilian insectoid hybrid, and he's like, you quietly slither in and you quietly slither out, and you do your work and you're proud of the work, but nobody really needs to know about you or what you did. You know what you did and how you changed the world. That's all that matters. His name is Zagor.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think that's, I don't think I had a choice with just because of the family connection with Eisenhower, because in this particular planet, that whole hierarchical system that he worked his way to influence was there before he came there. And so just needed to take out the wrecking ball and have a mission, to take it down. And there's so much to this team that has not been known and seen, right? That slither in and out like you and my husband. And
yeah, but always, and this is from Zagor is a reptilian insectoid hybrid. His race was created by Dracos, enslaved, but then they became free. And he said to me this: always remember the mission, always remember your work, and anybody who tries to bring you down, they can't stop you from doing what you need to do and accomplishing what you need to do, no matter what. Nobody can enslave you. You have choice, always a choice to do whatever you need to do.
Speaking of getting and targeting and attacked, to kind of segue into that, what kind of technology are they using? Because you also mentioned that people were trying to use NLP on Laura.
NLP is subliminal messaging.
wait, what? What
NLP.
Neuro-linguistic
and
programming.
P on Laura. I was like, what?
No, basically using neuro-linguistic programming. She was saying
Yes.
people that are close to you are trying to use NLP on you.
I thought you said yeah, okay. Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, it's like beguilement. Somebody has glamour. They come off as such a beautiful soul.
There's 2 people that I have in mind that are master NLP, but I won't name them. No hints needs to be, no hints at all, but there's 2 people that are masters NLP that are around her now.
Well, and they have, these types of people are sweet talkers. They know how to beguile. They know how to talk the walk and walk the walk, but they're not what they seem. And so seeing through the holographic insert interface on these people is the most important thing, to see their true colors. So for Laura, just see these people for what they really are and think of it this way: do I need to be intertwined with them or not? Do they really need to be part of my life or not?
I think what's so interesting is I feel that, but the part of me, which you guys can relate to, that wants to pull their soul closer to their persona, their ego or whatever, or to empower that part of them so that they begin to break whatever it is that makes them this kind of person. I engage because I believe in that person on some level that maybe they can heal. And so I interact with them as long as I feel that there might be a chance. And then when I realize, whoa, there's just no way with this person, then I kind of walk away. but it's part of kind of that empathy that I have for people that have been so impacted or inverted or used. But some are just empty vessels that are just really running something, and they're just not even there. And would you say those are clones? Are they just negative ego polarized, and then they masquerade with the false light, or both, or mixed bag?
It's a mixed bag because every soul is different in what they bring in or bring out. How close are these people to you? That's the question. Are they too close? Like, are they soul family? Are they clients? Are they friends? Are they partners? It's like, what's the connection? Is it too close to you, or is it like 3 times removed? It's just somebody you're working with.
Right. I mean, I'm really clear now, but I mean, it usually, what I found out, the Mars recruiters, one of the people in that aviary group, because it was the aviary that had code names as birds, like Jack Sarfati and Hal Putoff, and some of these guys that were just a part of this aviary group. They said that they had a list of men, and then they would be targeted to be compromised to then attack me and lose their ability to be okay. Like my ex turned psycho on me, and he's a super loving person. He's a super loving person. I see his life now. He's a super, when he was with me though, I mean, he was like demonic. It's just, so it's mostly come through my love relationships. And
trigger programming, the love bite trigger programming, because when they see you, their trigger missions are triggered to influence, to enforce stuff, to put stuff on you. But then when they're not in contract with you anymore, or not in contract, love, relationship, contract, when they're out of that programming just disappears because they don't see you as the trigger. So it's like, you're the trigger to see people's true souls and what they're capable of and what they're you literally bring up all the alchemical aspect in you, brings out within people everything that they're programmed to do, ever good and bad.
Yeah,
You're the mirror to their images, to their true soul and what their souls are capable of. I've met people, and I've also triggered people, and I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? Oh, saw me, got triggered, got polarized, and it's like, okay, I've done my job. They were meant to meet me. They got triggered and then I started understanding why. I'm like, okay.
No matter how much love you hold, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because certain things are meant to happen in life with certain people on a trajectory path. If we're meant to connect with them and bring something out in them and in us, it'll come out because fate worked it out for us to meet and work on something.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't want to dominate this, and I clearly have, because you guys are holding a lot of space for me. But if you wouldn't mind, and I'm going to send something of an energetic exchange, because this is a little different than an interview, and I appreciate all that you're sharing with us so much. The father of my kids is no longer here, and I didn't ever have proper closure. I don't know if you can tap into, or just my kids, and it's not so much my kids, maybe that's just for a one-on-one, but obviously, as we all are like healers or empaths or have compassionate hearts for folks, the fact that I couldn't save him or help him, really, I still struggle with, because I was really an unhealed person when I met him. And I don't like where I was still working through my own stuff that didn't help the situation, but he was like way off the rails and was very deceptive too. So I want to reconcile that within myself, to know that he's okay on some level, or like, was there a massive targeting there? Because I don't know if anything comes through on that.
Well, physically, he was prone to vices, drinking, drugs. It was something that happened to him on a regular, occasion because he had depression issues. His amygdala was damaged. He was born with a damaged amygdala. So he was addicted to physical things in life. He couldn't be fixed in life. So he died at a young age because he couldn't be fixed that way. He no longer is connected to anything, vices, darkness. The soul is free on the other side. But when he was human incarnate and human bound, he couldn't control himself literally. He had physical problems because of amygdala issues, like hormonal imbalances in the brain chemistry. Like his brain was wired the wrong way, like totally the wrong way. Depression, did he suicide or attract suicide to him?
Yeah, I mean, it was just self-destructive. And
Like,
when he
because
what's that?
the way he died feels like suicide was an attraction factor. Like the way he went, he attracted suicide to him.
Yeah. He wanted to bring it on, but he couldn't do it himself. And he was afraid of it. So how can somebody else take me out instead? How can I take myself out instead? Yeah. So I mean, he disappeared on the streets of San Francisco. I left him house in a car. I mean, it was a rental. I never owned a house, but anyway, we don't have to go into all that.
Yeah, well, I feel he attracted suicide and he went the way of suicide to just quietly disappear. I mean, he hasn't incarnated on Earth, so he's not here as a soul. He's sixth density, not suffering. Sixth density planet now. So he doesn't have any physical vices like what happened on Earth. He learned his lesson on Earth.
Yeah.
He learned.
Yeah. And he knows me and my boys love him, and
yeah, he's
like moved on.
Yeah, your children are well adjusted and they don't have mental head case issues like he did, thankfully. That wasn't passed on to you have two boys?
Yeah, twin boys.
Okay, two boys. I don't feel their male energy doesn't have that chaotic frequency of mental health issues. They didn't get that from they didn't get what their dad had. So yeah, they're clean and healthy. Your children are not impacted by what happened to their father. They don't even hold that energy. They don't hold that awareness.
My son said to me before he left for England, because they don't live at home anymore, it was your love, Mom, that why we're sane for all that we went through, because it was insanity. It really was.
But they never were touched by their father's issues. Let's just put it this way. They are not touched by what he did or what he was involved in. They're free of that. So you try to keep a balance for them no matter what was going on in the life. So they're good adjusted male children.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry.
It's okay. I mean,
back to me and
I look into people's souls and
I've not let anybody.
deep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I look into people's souls on a regular basis, deep. So it's like for me, having this conversation with you is just normal. It's part of that energy.
So beautiful. I haven't let anybody. Well, I haven't wanted anybody. There's only because when I went through my last breakup, this woman wanted to do a trade. I was doing astrology readings, and she said, I want to give you, angel channeling reading in exchange for you doing astrology. And I agreed. I said, okay, I'll do a trade. She turned so dark on me. I got so sick. I've never been in the hospital in my life, really, except for, birthing my kids. Cause and I just avoid doctors and hospitals. I got so sick. I went to the hospital numerous times, like this supposed channeler, energy healer person. And it's been so hard because it's not like about my ex. It's just about how messed up that situation was. Even a helpful person turned incredibly dark. And so my discernment and my just sort of all that, or like, I'm going to heal it myself. I'll work it out, which I've always, done a lot of myself. I've never felt so comfortable and like I can be open and safe with anybody, since. So it means a lot. Thanks.
I hold neutral space, neutrality. I'm very neutral. And whatever I feel, whatever I pick up, I honestly tell you, I don't hold back. I'm a catalyst for people to change. It's like you can do whatever you want with the information that comes in. I don't control it. Just honestly share what comes in for the highest good of a person. And whatever change is supposed to happen will happen energetically. That's all I do. Just hold this safe space to work out whatever needs to be worked out. And I don't go to other psychics or readers. I just do my own internal work.
Yeah. I mean, this was a trade, kind of like,
Mhm.
so I wasn't seeking her, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but I feel like talking to you is helping me to recover from that, because I am pretty self-sufficient in my own energy working. But when somebody gave me all that I wasn't really asking for, and that was also when that partner was becoming demonized and allowing the targets to get the best of him, not having enough of a spiritual immune system because of, like you said. But oh my gosh, I know it's like, oh my God, this is video.
Well, I mean,
I know it's like a one-on-one session here.
no, but this woman feels narcissistic and conflicted. Like she's conflicted within her own life. She can't figure out her life path from one way to the other. So she's confused on many levels. This person thinks they're so powerful as an angelic channeler. They don't always channel angelics. Not everything as it seems. You have to be very careful with the power of channeling because it could go to your head.
I knew she was off. And
Just confused.
Yeah,
oftentimes.
it was just, yeah, it wasn't like it was the level of darkness at my most vulnerable that came through both of them, and how they teamed up was just unbelievable. Anyway, I wrote about it in my book, and I don't want to talk about me anymore. I'm so sorry to have so much me time. But thank you, Drago, for like letting me have this extra time.
It's been nice to kind of hear more about you, because like I know that these answers is something you really need to hear, and it means more to me to just kind of be here and hold this space for you, you know.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, you
But
guys.
if you got more questions, man, keep it going. Like this is
I mean, it's already been 90 minutes, and I don't, want to assume anything that you're just gonna endlessly sit here with us. Like what we can close it up here. I feel I have so much to integrate and just feel a lot of joy about. And I mean, when I wrote those questions, I feel, some of it is not how I feel all the time.
No, you're a joyous, loving, kind person. I only work with people who I feel good energy from. I don't work with dark people. I don't do this kind of stuff with people that are not integrated in their own field. Let's just put it this way. You two are integrated, so I can do this with you because you're at a certain ascension level where we can do this comfortably. So that's why I'm interconnecting with you two. There's always a reason why somebody has these questions, because they want to figure things out in their soul field, and it's closure, and it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Oh, that's amazing. So I guess my husband just pipes up in the background. He's like, "Why don't you ask about me and us?" I don't know if there's anything that you want to say about. I mean, it's amazing how he came into my life. We have a really big age difference, but that it's.
Oh, I see an eagle and I see a flute, so he needs to connect more with his aspect of the. Does he have Native American heritage? Because that's coming in as important.
He's Irish, so he's like kind of like he's very deeply connected with nature. And I mean, it was just amazing how he came together. He has this immunity to these level of shadow insanity that I've dealt with pretty much every partner I've ever been with. We sometimes we're just curious, like past lives, or like, what his name's Kevin O'Shea. But okay, eagle flute. I mean, he's a mega Leo. I mean, he's got a lot of creative energy. So you could literally hand him anything and he'd probably just
because he has an ability to express a creative voice and an artistic side that he needs to do as that work for himself and for others to hear his work. So he needs to express his creative work for people to hear his artistic side. And I just get the feeling that you were both uprooted and maybe moved. You're finally just situating yourself in the space that feels safe for the both of you. That's important. Like, have you moved or found safe space?
Oh, wait, I moved to be with him, and then so yeah, there was a big move to, get me here.
Mm-hmm.
But
because the energy feels uprooted and like you're commingling the energies together in a common
yeah, well, I'm like
frequency.
just super like ungrounded, uprooted. Just I've been so nomadic. I haven't been in a relationship for more than a couple years or lived in a place for more than a couple years without some sort of shitstorm or disaster happening. Then I'm like, whoop, next place, gotta go. Like, here's my wings, and he's the only person I've been able to stay with. Is like a record.
Yeah. Well, it feels like he has helped you to calm down and not feel uprooted anymore, and he's amazed by what he's done for you and how this came together, like
I
the
think
balance he creates.
I'm way too overwhelming. I know it though. It's like
Well,
the only reason I brought up age difference because age doesn't matter. It's just like I
no,
really,
but
like feel like I
he
a little
needs
bit too much.
he needs to express himself musically and artistically because
I tell him that.
he's just been holding back so much of his gifts. He needs to like do the gift work.
I agree. Oh, Drago just showed up at.
I love you, Kevin.
Are you awake? Yeah. I think I pissed him off when I said age difference. Is that?
Oh, it's okay.
No, I just mean like
age doesn't matter really.
oh,
It's
of
the
course it
love you
doesn't.
share.
The only reason I shared that is because I want to be a healthy person for him, and he's really healthy in his soul, and I feel like I trust him to out because I'm just a kind of
he's a strong anchor, so he can hold your space and safety. But again, his work, he needs to do his gifts and work that, man. Do that as work, express it.
I know.
Because he's talented.
He's
Blue Eagle, does he do carvings of animals? Work with wood? Does he?
Yeah, well,
his
he used
hands?
to make these tables with wood. I mean, this guy like builds houses from scratch, and
Okay, he needs to
he's
do
got a lot of
that.
injuries from his life.
But he needs either for part-time work because he needs to express his creativity and not keep that stuck in the root chakra because it's been stuck in the talent wants to go
I
and
think that would be so healing, exactly, because he's so creative, and his chart shows how he has such regenerative powers within himself.
yeah. Well, even
I think he's like tending to me all the time, and I'm like, I know
but,
do all this, be so loving and putting
he
himself
can't suppress the talent in the root chakra because it sits and it's like, hello, I keep knocking on your stomach every 20 minutes and you need to work on this and get this out. Carve, play the flute, like carve just for, if it's not for work, carve for fun.
right. I mean, I have
Creative
my
expression.
I have to be creative, and I'm not even like to the level of what his creative expression could be.
So he needs
and
to.
It used to be. So anyway.
Yeah, he needs to, now that that uprootment has been settled and things have worked out okay with you and him, he needs to do the creativity. If it's for fun, for work, as long as he's engaging in his true self creativity. That's so important. He can't keep suppressing that because the root chakra keeps knocking at his door every 20 minutes and like, ooh, and he feels a little uncomfortable. And it's like, well, create your balance.
Get the ball rolling. I'm like banging on the drums. I'm just like playing music. I'm like, come on, bring out your guitar. What's going on?
Well, play the flute, play the drum.
Well, I'm the one playing the drum. No,
no, he can play the drums too. He can play any instrument. He's
we were going to be the grumpy, comfy. What was it? Our band. Anyway, I'm trying to.
Well, the eagle medicine is saying he needs to connect with the gift again and do his gifts because it's so important for his soul to be happy. That's the message coming in from the father ego energy.
That.
So his energy is being blocked because he's not expressing that creative freedom anymore. He feels kind of maybe like he's not expressing himself and he's kind of like stuck.
He put
That's
it
how
to
I
the
feel too.
side for a while. He put it to the side, but the true soul expression, it just keeps knocking on the door one way or another. It's like, hello, I'm here. You can't forget me. Express yourself, because you can't suppress who you are on a creative level. You can try and try, but eventually it knocks on your door. It's like, hello, I'm here and I'm not going away. You need to do this. It's like, so he needs to carve, he needs to play the instruments. What he's put aside can no longer be held within anymore. Creatively. I know probably he wants to hear something different, but that's what's coming in for him.
No, I think I might have said something to piss him off. I think he's fine. He's been in and out of sleep for this interview anyway. But anyway,
we're fine.
Sending
Yeah,
love
Laura, it was 2019 when we were at Contact in the Desert. I think it was Saturday night, and it was after the show, and you were really in your element. That was the night we played ping pong, and we just had so much fun all night. And that was the night I actually met Kevin, and I got to talk to Kevin for like 2 or 3 hours, and we really connected. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that was the first night I heard you ever play that drum. It was like people bring it to the consciousness shows, and you played it, and it was like hearing a symphony. And I remember everybody stopped what they were doing and they would listen to you play this, and you disappeared into some other realm and you just made music. It was freaking beautiful, man. So like, I don't see you that a lot anymore.
Actually.
No, you're pretty damn talented. What I heard was a freaking professional, and it really shocked me because I've never heard you express music like that. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm going to be a part of this moment. But I would love to see that a lot more at the shows, man. Whoever has those drums, whatever they're called, like, I don't know what they're called, but they're not like a bongo kind of thing. It's like a metal
kind of like
drum.
a UFO.
Hang pan.
Yes, those things, whatever they're called, like that. Oh man, it was so awesome.
Yeah, I've played hang pans before, but they rust, man.
Oh shit. And they're expensive. So if they rust, that's like something
they do. Mine rusted and I cleaned it up, and I'm like, well, you have to keep them a certain way in a case, or like can't wrap them up.
I'm like chaos. Like I'm like the kid out of that like chaotic, messy room, but then I know how to organize and like pull things together. But like literally it just feels like I just a very like chaotic field of energy sometimes.
Well, and it's okay. I mean, you've been uprooted, you moved where you needed to, like you've settled down, your energy is much calmer than used to be. So Kevin has anchored and grounded you literally to where you need to be. So it's like, and you can always play your hangpan, you can always return to what your soul is calling you to do, because nothing is ever gone. Everything is where it's supposed to be.
I really wish you'd pull out the instruments and play along with me. And my fingers don't bend correctly. I think I got frostbite as a kid, but yeah, it's limited a lot in me. And he's super like, anyway, I just want to celebrate and have fun. And it's really good that him and I are together, right? Even though.
Yeah. Well, again, play your music. He shouldn't suppress his gifts as work or fun.
You hear that?
That's all I have for him. He can't, root chakra wants to do its gifts. So that's the message I have for him.
Essential oils and work that root chakra, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's the breakthrough. And I'll just bring the guitars out and the flutes and just be like,
play it.
And then his whistle is incredible. He'll just start to whistle. And I think I got some teeth work done, and I'm like, and oh my gosh, your whistle. Anyway.
Well, let him work his creativity.
I don't want to be like,
needs that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's all good. Well, thank you guys so much. I had a lot of fun, and it was a pleasure to come on the show again.
Well, thank you for just all this extra time and going into just something so personal, and everybody listening. I hope nobody feels that I've been selfish in all this. It's
But
just amazing
it's,
because I just, it means a lot to me. So thank you.
but it's that personal thing that really matters. Connecting on the soul level and hearing what's going on and figuring things out. That's the soul stuff. Working together on the soul stuff.
Totally.
That's what it's all about.
It's just not my
And
nature to have a show like be so much about this many questions and something so personal, but I know you know my heart, and
yeah, but why not? I always say,
why
why
not?
not go where the deepest soul portion needs to go and explore what needs to be explored? That's the best kind of soul work we can do.
Oh, I know. So I'm not gonna do what I normally do, which is overthink it when we get off the call and just be like, oh, I hope that was okay. I hope everybody's cool with
It
it.
was good. It was,
It's always amazing being with you. And I mean, there's so much more to get to know about you. I think Drago and I have just been so excited about the clarity that you can give to us. But I mean, you're not just, anytime you want to come on the show and I mean,
but it's not
you've given
about
us
me.
so much, both
Yeah.
individually, but I know
It's,
you're such a giver in that way. But I mean,
it,
I just having the energetic balance and I know the curiosity that people feel for so much about you. I just look forward to more and how we can all just be a part of this greater conversation to cover so much about all our soul missions and how it's just so beautiful that we've come together because we all feel this resonance with just having a voice for what needs to be voiced.
exactly. Having the opportunity and the possibility of having our voices heard, whatever the platform, whatever the audience level, doesn't matter. It's this, having us heard and being able to do this is what's important.
Absolutely. Any final words, Drago?
No, it was just a pleasure to kind of go deeper into both of our lives and really do more of a deeper dive and kind of hear this stuff, because you can see that me and Laura, we're going through some emotional stuff with everything that's being thrown at us right now, and like to discover more about ourselves and like have stuff questioned, like with real remote viewing, man. Like it's a big honor to take part in that, and like meeting you and you taking on that, the helping me with my stuff. Like thank you, Ileana. It really means a lot to both of us.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys. It's an honor to just come and talk to people who hold neutrality and safe space and don't play these games with anybody. That's the most important thing to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is such a beautiful space. And that's exactly the space that has been held. And that's what you hold. And that's what you bring wherever you go. And Drago and I are like committed to the same thing. Even when these dramas come, to find that higher road, to find that neutrality, and that's everything. And we've all, we get thrown a lot of stuff, but it's like, oh, I can't wait to replay this, because everything that you shared, it's like nothing can touch this. It's untouchable.
Mhm.
The heart and the mission and the what we all hold in our hearts and souls and intention is literally can't be messed with.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much, and I appreciate the both of you.
Well, thank you too, and happy rest of the holiday season and happy new year.
You too,
I know
guys.
we're
Thank
very
you.
early in December still, but it's like going to be an interesting shift. And still, we haven't even talked about, what is going to be happening in the world. But I feel that it's more about the work we're doing on ourselves, regardless of the outer landscape, right?
Yeah, but we do the work on ourselves, but we also do the mission on the energy of the planet. I
It's
mean, I want to share one interesting thing. I went into my Akashic records and I met a Tibetan monk. His name is Shaylin. Um, and he said to me, you have stupas in your meditation room or pagodas. And he said to me, I used to build stupas in Nepal, in the mountains of Nepal. And I would put these prayer beads and pray for people who are on a life journey, in transition or whatever. And it helps to heal the world, literally, with positive prayer, with positive words. You don't even have to call it praying. It's just putting a positive intention with a good feel, vibration. Pray for the world, pray for positive change, pray for good outcomes. Wish somebody well through the prayer beads. And he said, put it up on your stupa. And he said, use hematite beads with onyx beads and create these beautiful, they're not altars, so just put them on the stupa and pray for the world to become better. That's all pure intention of holding a good, safe space for the world to be good. And I did that, and I'm like, whoa, this worked. I didn't know. It's like, I work with crystals and I work with beads. And I'm like, I ordered everything and I put it together and I put it on the stupa. I'm like, whoa, this works. I was amazed. I was like, I wanted to glue stuff on the stupa and glue beads. He's like, don't glue anything. Just put things that could be taken off and moved around. Don't glue anything. It's not about glue. It's about prayer beads and moving them around and working with something that is ageless and can go anywhere with you. I'm like, I said to him, you are so wise, Shaylin. Thank you so much. Because what I was planning was like, I'm going to glue stuff. I'm going to glue crystals. And he's like, no, 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 don't do that. Just put things on that could be taken off and moved around. So I'm like, oh yeah, that works too. It's less complicated. It's like
Oh,
he said to me, you are humble and creative, so use that creativity wisely. He built stupas out of rocks and beads and
hmm,
prayed for people to be on their safe journeys in life. He didn't have much except his creativity. So that's
that
all he had.
that's I mean, creativity is intention, and that's influences the collective and the energy fields around him. So that's so beautiful. Gosh.
Mhm. And I was like, I can't believe my past life self as a Tibetan monk is showing me how to decorate stupas for prayers. But I'm like, when you actually do that, you feel very humbled because it's just pure energy. It's real. It's like, I was questioning, why would my past life self tell me to do this? And it's like, well, why not? Anything is possible. Everything is infinite. We exist energetically everywhere. So why not? He is real. I'm like, I'm talking to him. I'm seeing my past life self. He's like here energetically with me. I can see him. And he was showing me Nepal. And I'm like, where can I find these stupas? Where can I find evidence that this really happened, that he really did this? He's like, look it up on the internet. You can find the photos of monks praying by stupas and building stupas. And I did. I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's for real. He's real. Because I was questioning the experience. Am I making this up? Is this in my mind? I'm like, it can't be because this feels so real. He's like, I am you, except I was male. You're female
Oh
in this
my
lifetime.
gosh. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's like, don't argue with yourself.
Right? Yeah. That's so beautiful.
I was questioning him. How is this possible? Why are you here? It's like, well, I'm here for you at the right time in the right place. You have these stupas and you're not doing anything with them. You need to put in healing energy more towards the planet. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. No problem.
Oh my gosh. The communication between parts of you. It's like so
Mhm.
beautiful. Wow. What a way to.
And I had a Lemurian goddess visit me, who I was apparently, and I've started writing a book about light language and how that works in different light languages. I'm like, oh my goodness. I said to her, how can this be real? And she's like, anything is real. Everything that you ever were, will be, or have been is real because it's part of your energy field. It always is part of you. Your past lives are always part of you. You carry the frequency of everything beautiful that you are and have ever been or will be. It's all here.
I
Yes.
coincidentally have two Japanese pagodas tattooed on me. One's about a foot
Ah,
tall, so like I think that has to do with maybe in Japanese past life. So
Well, I mean, they hold these pagodas hold healing frequency. I've always been fascinated by pagodas, and I have 3 of them. I call them stupas. And now they have prayer beads and other things on them. And I'm like, past life selves really are part of us, and they want the best for us. Yeah, so it's like it was a genuine experience meeting Shaylin and meeting Chandra, the Lemurian goddess. It's like, wow, I didn't know I had a Lemurian interaction. So that was it's amazing to connect to every aspect of your soul that's trying to be helpful to you in some way and guide
Oh
you.
my gosh, where aspects of you are your spirit guides, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I see them as don't really see them as my spirit guides. I see them as my guides, just the
Yeah.
past life portions of me.
Well,
Because
like
I
the
can,
integration process is not really
yeah,
like, oh, right. But that
yeah,
other, right. Yeah. No, I
yeah,
hear.
like, but I can see them, what they look like, what they did, because they're showing me all this stuff. Like they're literally coming out of the Akashic records and showing me what they did. Like, whoa, this feels beyond the Akashic records, because they're interacting here with me on life. And I'm like, well, it's the best time to be here to have these
It's like
interactions.
Akashic Records, Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji Akashic records, like bigger than life. Jumping out of the Akashics into 3D, 4D, 5D, and just
That is
playing.
wild.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, that's part of the soul mission, to experience this interesting stuff and to be creative and to be expressive and inspirational and to be in full creativity of everything that we want to do. Just do it, create and play and manifest.
Yes. Wow. 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 I've so enjoyed this, you guys. I guess I don't know.
This was a really good show, man. Like a lot of stuff got answered, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
a lot. A lot. It's so incredible and heart opening and beautiful just to close with what you just shared. So, wow. Thank you, both of you. I look forward to just staying connected and all those that listen to this and the inspiration that it will bring to them. Because when we talk about ourselves on a personal level, it's on a universal level too, because it's really pointing towards something within ourselves that we can all get back in touch with. If people are just having a difficult time, like there's such a bigger picture and an inward knowingness that connects with that we're so much more than we can possibly imagine. And thank you, Ileana, because you just hold this so strong. I don't think there was any other guests we've had that were like, so thank you. I know it's holiday season too. And yeah, man, your heart. Wow. So if I say any final words like I did last time, we'll probably be on for another hour, but I guess we'll say good night, everyone. And thank you for being on the Rebel Collective with us.
Until next time, everyone.
Bye-bye.
bye.